alley-oop. That's what it is.
No, it's like at some point, never mind. Tick McManus and Jeremy Fowler dropped an Eagles opus this morning outlining why the Eagles fell apart. You're thinking, I don't need to read that. I know. Supernatural funk. Well, Sirianni got more hands-on last season, muddled the staff's ability to convey one consistent message to the quarterback. The Hurts-Sirianni dynamic does not work as well when it's one-to-one. A source saying there was never a moment last year where they were operating in a healthy relationship. My goodness, Brew, you ascribed their downfall to a supernatural funk.
I called it.
After reading this article, I don't know if that works, but we're going to keep trying it. Do you believe the funk is over?
I do.
Wow. Why? Who's gone?
Several things about the article.
Please.
One, the timing. Why didn't this come out a few weeks after the season? Because people talked, right? People within the organization decided they're going to talk to Jeremy Fowler and I can't remember the other guy's name that wrote the article, right? Yeah, they're going to talk to them. They didn't talk right after the season because it wasn't over. They weren't sure was Sirianni going to remain coach? If he did remain coach, how were things with Jalen? Like, when you talk about something when it's over.
No.
Yeah, my wife and I, we had a tough stretch a couple years ago, but now things are good, right? When it's over, you're willing to talk.
All right.
And that wasn't personal. That was
But
just an example.
Sirianni and Hurts wouldn't talk for this, Brew. They refused to talk.
There was no value in them talking.
Why
about
can't they just do?
But I'm saying even
it's over.
The other people in the organization were like, now they're like, okay, we think it's done. Let's kind of get it out there. Look, the timing for an article like this is never great unless it's after a Super Bowl win.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying it's great
I think
timing.
It's a solid number.
Yeah, I do think now that they're talking about it. Secondly, Jalen Hurts said, I think we're in a great place. That was a direct quote in the article.
Okay, I did not. I actually think that's the opposite.
Oh, but he said that. That was a quote.
How are your wife doing? I think we're in a great place.
Nick Sirianni is now, according to the article, hands off.
Oh, that's
the problem with him, like with the funk, was all of a sudden he's hands on. He wants to talk to Jalen about what are we doing.
Yeah, so now he doesn't
and Brian
talk to
Johnson.
Right.
Now they're not allowed to talk one-on-one.
Working
they
great.
have to have a
We
mediator.
have separate bedrooms. The relationship's never been better.
That's okay.
Okay,
That's okay. The fact that he is hands off, letting Kellen Moore do his thing. Kellen Moore's putting in stuff to combat the blitz that wasn't there for some reason last year. He's putting in more pre-snap motion that wasn't there for some reason last year. So I think the funk is gone. However, like every supernatural funk, it could come back if a couple losses, but it's gone right now.
So listen, since you were talking about the kind of journalistic beats of this, let me ask you a question, Brew, from your time at the Gray Lady and many other prestigious publications. The most important part of the story is what?
That they weren't getting.
No. Of any story you write, the lead. The lead.
Yeah.
And then either the second most important part or the part you want to stick with
there's
people.
There's a nut graph.
And then okay, but the kicker that they usually put something juicy of note at the end.
You try to wrap it up.
Yeah, wrap it up. Here's the kicker of the story. If you didn't get to it, do I think they will go to dinner together? Hell no. But it could be a good working professional relationship. And I don't think it's hatred.
This is a wrap.
That was a little strong. Hell no in hatred. That gave me pause. I ain't gonna lie. It gave me pause.
That's how the story ended. And let me tell you what the actual nut graph, I guess, or the real meat of the story told me. I've seen this before.
Oh, with who?
A coach who had success with a quarterback who deep down he thinks might be a little limited. The quarterback then wants to expand past it and show everyone how, that he's a star, and the coach is pulling against it. That was the Russell Wilson, Pete Carroll thing. It just took a long time. No, but you,
well, that's
Brew, you agree, right?
Well, but Russ started that. Remember when he
Yes.
started dropping
Of course.
hints about, hey, I'd like to move.
No,
on.
I understand, but
Super Bowl loss.
but I just
I don't
feel
know
like
that Carroll ever would have got. I don't know. It's not a Carroll Russ discussion, but I don't know that Carroll would have went there if Russ had.
What was Ayuk's leverage here? Do you think he was either going to miss games? Mangini talks about a hard-to-diagnose injury. But here's the other thing. We've got two other big-name wide receivers who are unhappy with their contracts.
CeeDee Lamb.
Jamar and CD. Are they looking at this being like, traded? I wonder how this is going to affect me now.
Well, I don't think I'm guessing they're not fearing being traded. But your first question is great. What is his leverage? His leverage is, my back. That's the only
But that's
leverage.
what we think might happen with T. Higgins on this franchise tag.
Well, Higgins has said several times he's going to play.
Wait till he's banged up.
Okay.
Wait till week 8.
I hear you. But that's the only leverage a receiver or a player has in this instance, because if Ayuk, he can't sit out, he wouldn't get paid the $14 million, nor would he accrue the season so he could sit out, or become a free agent in the summer. He had no leverage except a fake injury.
So I don't
and
agree.
Maybe they got to. You don't agree with that?
No, because I think
because if you act up with an attitude, then other teams may look at you. He's kind of a prima donna.
But prima donnas get paid. Good wide receivers get paid. It doesn't matter the attitude stuff. And historically, you have to really.
I mean, name some of the historic. Antonio Brown.
Antonio Brown
Randy
kept
Moss.
getting paid.
As great as Ayuk, is he one of them?
No, but he also, again, being upset about a contract, I don't think labels you a prima donna.
No, but I'm saying if he would have, make a stir.
I think he'd still get paid. But I think you're on to what his leverage is. I think sometimes we forget. Football teams are workplaces. And having someone important at work that is visibly miserable, that is pouting, that is moping, that is making it uncomfortable for people has a downstream effect on everything. I know we're going to talk about the Eagles in a bit. Seems like the supernatural funk might have been part of that. I really think because we watch the games on Sundays and we talk about it, we forget, man, they show up to work at 8 in the morning. Yeah. They're they eat together, all these things. And I think teams really do have an allergy of, man, this guy's going to be miserable. He's going to make the meeting room miserable. There's going to, those things. That is the leverage is that I'm going to be a pain in the ass to have in the building, so you might as well get me out of the building. And I think for a lot of people watching, that's relatable. You've been at work and had someone who might have been good, but was always in a bad mood. And then when they left, you felt better about going to work.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oddly, hold in. Better leverage than hold out.
Yes, right.
I'm going to hold in.
I'm going to be here and be which is what he was doing. He was there, and
although he looked like he was.
Well, in that moment, it looked like he was fine. But yeah, I think that's a real piece of leverage.
Tough loss for that viral video of him
dapping
shaking hands.
Kyle.
You know what? Can't go with that. Hey, here's a video we have no idea what we're talking about. All right, now let's go out to Pittsburgh, where Russ and/or Justin Fields have a new weapon to team with George Pickens. Last year, Ayuk had the 7th most yards in the league. And get this, out of all wide receivers, average yards per catch, Pickens was number 1, Ayuk was number 2. So, Brew.
Nick doesn't like Pickens.
No, hold on. It's not that I don't like Pickens.
Every time I mention George Pickens as a big
I don't, Brew. I don't think George Pickens is one of the 25 best receivers in the league. I think you agree.
Number 1.
I don't want to do a countdown.
I understand. I'm not going to do a countdown. But I think
he's one of the 25 most talented.
Sure.
That's for sure.
He's very talented.
Okay, that's all.
He also doesn't seem to like all parts of football. But go ahead.
He did have that one block. He got yelled at. Yeah. All right, so do we expect this move to propel the Steelers back to the playoffs?
All right, look, it's not predictions week.
No.
So you can't hold me to this.
Yeah, he's back.
Well, we're going to delay it.
We're going to delay it? Okay, good.
But you can't hold me to this. But right now,
pencil.
And my hometown is going to kill me.
Which hometown?
I know. You got to wait and see.
He's going to have Cincy out.
My playoff teams right now.
All of them?
Well, I mean, Buffalo, the Jets, The Dolphins. So the only one division going to get 3. Houston, Kansas City, Baltimore, Pittsburgh.
Cincinnati.
Wow. They have, and look, they have made because I don't like the vibes coming out of Cincinnati.
Wow.
They have made the playoffs, the Steelers, 3 of the last 4 years with what, Wilds? Some of the worst quarterback play in the league.
I thought that was the Jets thing.
Well, the Jets, yeah, that might be later. But some of the worst quarterback play in the league.
Okay.
We know their defense is going to be legit. We know they're going to have a solid, at least solid run game. Pickens, Ayuk. What this really is the true and complete litmus test for whoever's the quarterback, Russell Wilson or Justin Fields. If you can't succeed